When it comes to making movie musicals, I would say that there are three styles of adapting the original musical. Each has its benefits and each has its faults. The first is taking the musical at face value. This one is rare, but a couple of good examples are something like Les Miserables or Mamma Mia. The track list and recording of the songs are almost identical, and the story follows and respects the original plotline. Of course, the screenwriter and director are allowed to make a few changes. For example, how in Mamma Mia, Our Last Summer takes place early in the film, but late into Act 2 in the musical. Some other great examples are Evita, The Last 5 Years, and My Fair Lady. Then we have something like Rent or In the Heights that changes most of the plot line but still keeps to the story. Rent the musical is more of an operetta with very few lines and tells most of its story through song rather than a book. Rent the movie takes the story and creates an actual plot line. A great way to visualize this is by looking at both albums taken from their respective music. Rent the Musical has 43 songs, 42 if you don't count the Stevie Wonder song at the end. Rent the Movie has 28. Even if we take out some of the filler songs and transitions, the musical beats the movie by 7 songs. Next is In the Heights. Its biggest cinema sin is how it almost deletes its secondary main character. Nina in the musical has a much more complex story, and most of the show is seen through her eyes. In the movie, they made her into a person who is just homesick and has a solo now and then. Two of Nina's solos were cut from the movie, those being Everything I Know and Sunrise. Some other great examples are Hairspray, Sound of Music, and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. The last one is a bit weird, so it has its own special category, where the idea of the show as a show is maintained and appreciated, almost diegetic. Tick Tick Boom and Cabaret are probably the two that keep this intact. Tick Tick Boom has a story that is pseudo narrated by Andrew Garfield playing Jonathan Larson doing his one man show, but the actual story is shown through the movie's main plotline. Cabaret sticks with the idea of it being a stage performance by letting whatever is happening on the stage be represented in cutaway shots, giving a very limbo feel. Some other great examples are A Chorus Line, Chicago, and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. There is one more bonus style that is slowly coming in and will hit us like a ton of bricks when there is a musical adaptation of a movie that is being turned into a movie. Some early examples of this are The Producers, The Little Shop of Horrors, and more recently, Matilda. But there are two of these coming around the bend: Mean Girls and The Color Purple. It's a completely new age of movie musicals that we are reverting to the original source. Each of these types has brought some of the greatest movie musicals there are. Some have also not been the best. However, art is art no matter what, and we should always give these movies the props that they deserve.